Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cerius Blaq with Cerius Blaq. I am your host, Cerius Blaq. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Sarah Cooke.
Mhm.
Sarah, would you please introduce yourself and tell us just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the question.
Yes, I am a comics writer. I have some projects going on that I'm excited about, and I also work in a library.
Oh, very cool. How long have you worked in the library?
I've worked at this library for a little over 2 years, and another
Okay,
one before that for about a year.
okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy it?
I do. I like it a lot. I love being around the books, and it's a great group of people I get to work with.
I gotta say, I think that's pretty fortunate considering that you're
Yeah.
also a writer and you get to be around books every day, and like those kind of just go hand in hand, huh?
They really do. It worked out well.
Nice. Do you get like inspiration while you're at work as well at the library, or just
Yeah, I think I do. Just getting to see so much of what's out there in different genres, and we have whole sections for comics and graphic novels, and just kind of being around it every day, and the new releases when they come to us. I think it is inspiring. Just seeing all of what's out there every day.
excellent? Would you say you've been able to build like a pretty good community in your area, like with other creatives?
Yeah, I think I've been doing some stuff with the Columbus Cartoon Coalition, which
Okay.
is a really cool group of local comics creators. Um, there's an event called Space, the Small Press and Comics Expo that I go to every year, and a bunch of the Cartoon Coalition people are always there. There is, you wouldn't necessarily think it, but there actually is a pretty thriving comics community in Columbus, which is really cool to kind of be a part of.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah,
Hmm.
got some good shout outs in there too. So, if you're watching, make sure
Yeah,
to check those out.
yeah,
And support. Um, well, the show is called Serious Slack for a reason because we're going to get into a lot of things about what you do when you're not being the professional writer.
hmm.
But because you are, we are going to start with talking about some of your work. And so, thank you for sending me some examples ahead of time.
Oh, no
And
problem.
well, first, I want to talk about because a lot of your work can be shown on your Substack, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have your prime homepage to your Substack. Now,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what people can expect to find if they subscribe to your Substack.
So the Substack is mostly kind of talking about my projects, and just sort of the process that goes into my process that goes into writing and creating my comics. It's a weekly newsletter that comes out on Thursdays. And there's also, I post some of my comics on the Substack in short episodes. So
Like
those are there
this.
to read too.
Okay, well, we can move right into one now.
Yeah.
So, right here, I see that you have issues one, two, three, four, and five in episodes broken
Hmm.
down of issue number one of No Spell Lasts Forever.
Yep.
Excellent. So let's
Hmm.
pull one up and so give people a look. Look at that. Um, Tell us a little bit about this project and how it got started.
Yeah, so it's a modern fantasy series. It's kind of my little log line is a magic user meets an early death and makes a deal with the devil for a second chance at life, but then has to
Oof.
decide if she's the kind of person who can go through with it. Um, so we're 4 issues in. The fourth issue is live right now on Kickstarter. It's 6 issues, and it's been a lot of fun to make. Um, I can't believe that we're already 4 issues in.
It kind of flew by,
um,
huh?
it does, yeah. It's bananas. It was like end of 2019, beginning of 2020 when I started writing it, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long at all.
I understand. I understand. Wow, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. This is,
Oh, thanks.
it's got a very noir feel to it. Uh,
Yeah, it is noir.
yeah.
That was kind of the aesthetic that we've been going for. The art for issue one is by Aimee Holly, who was amazing to work with. She had to kind of pull back after the first issue. She was
Mhm.
working full time and going to school at night, so I have no idea how she even
Wow.
managed to make the first issue. But
Okay.
starting with issue two, the art is by Easy DeSavino, and I really, really love his art too.
Well, let's take a look at that as well, so I can show the because we like what we saw there.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
His style is really, really different from Aime's, but I think he kind of holds on to that noir aesthetic in a little bit of a different way.
Okay.
I love his
Uh,
colors too.
yeah, I was just gonna say it's a little, not that it's bad, but I noticed that the vibrance changed a little bit.
Hmm.
Um,
And one
and
of the reasons for issue two is part of it takes place in hell. So that was really easy, and I talked about that. It was pretty intentional on his part that he wanted it to feel really different from the city. The rest of it takes place in New York, where Rosette kind of feels like
oh,
she knows what's going on, and he wanted her to be in a place that feels totally different, so she feels uh, like she's kind of lost her footing.
I gotta say, that makes total sense. I really like that correlation. Similar to like if you think back to like the movie Constantine, with Keanu Reeves, even though that wasn't
Hmm.
comic book accurate, but the depictions of him in the city were dark and gritty and such. But
Hmm.
then when he finally went to hell, it was a completely different feel
Yeah.
for the film, and that's what I think what you've been able to capture here, even unintentionally, because you have two different artists, but like
Yeah.
the first artist style really felt really makes the cityscape scene pop with
Yeah.
the look, and then here, yeah, um,
And
I
I love
am
his depiction of it too, as kind of this like forested area. Like my original thought, I definitely wanted it to feel different from the city, but I kind of imagined it as almost like plains, like grassland kind of area. And
hmm,
he did this kind of more forested landscape, which I think is even better than what I had imagined.
I, I never would have thought of that either, but it totally works. And the character designs, by the way, is that something that you like? Is this what you always envisioned with what they look like?
This is pretty much what I envisioned. I did send Easy my character descriptions, but he really just took it and ran with it. I love his designs.
This is really cool
Yeah.
right here, and that's exactly what you were talking about. So, with that being said, before I move on to the next thing, is there anything else that you would like to have highlighted while we're here on your Substack?
um, the other, I guess, the other somewhat exciting thing on the Substack, I have a couple of shorts posted up there too. I
Under
think
this
they're
comment?
farther.
Ah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Hmm. And
Ooh,
just a couple other additional
okay.
little things to read.
How do you say this?
If I'm gonna say it right, chiaroscuro.
Dioscuro. Okay, let's check that out. Oh, wow.
This
Art.
is kind of like a post-apocalyptic short that I wrote.
Wow. This art style is, you know what?
Completely
Yeah,
different.
completely different, but it definitely fits dystopian.
Yeah.
What's well, I don't want to give away too much since it is a short story, but can you tell us a little bit about this one?
So it's about kind of like a post World War III sort of dystopian setting, and the main character is the older woman, and she was the director of this museum, and she's trying to get everything is about to kind of collapse, and she's trying to get to a ship to get off the earth and go to Mars, and she's been tasked with kind of selecting one piece of art that she can take with them to the new planet, and she's having a hard
Mm,
time figuring it out, and people come in firing weapons, and she's got to kind of figure it out. Her ultimate kind of lesson is that, not to spoil the whole thing, but she kind of learns over the course of events that it's more about like the artists and the people behind the art. And if they can kind of create a new world where new artists can thrive, then that should be the ultimate goal.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Um, there was something else that we talked about previously that I did want to highlight. I'll get to that in a sec. I do want to give the audience a chance to look at Olive and Ogre as well because that just
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
cool. That just sounds cool. So, um, oh, this is wow. You know how to pick an artist, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love Sarah Setna's art too.
hmm So, is this would you say that this is deep in depth, or is this can this be read by a younger audience?
Yeah, this one is a little more. I didn't specifically write it for kids, but it's definitely kid friendly. It's a little bit more of a fun kind of story. It was in the fantasy anthology Concrete Arcanum, and there's actually a
Oh,
second volume of it coming out later this year that I have a story in that's kind of like a complement to this, but kind of like it takes place in my mind, in my head canon, in the same world as Olive and the Ogre, but it's kind of like a bit of a more grown up, kind of darker take on that world. So,
okay. Which is bound to happen, I suppose.
yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. One of the other things, I'm going to take this down now, and I want to ask you a question um, about there's another book that you had that was there was an anthology that you
Yeah.
were the editor on. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. It's called Faster Than Light, and I am a big sucker for anthologies, so I
I
really
like
wanted to
them
talk
too.
about this. So I was able to grab the cover,
Oh,
and
good.
um, yeah, just okay. So how did you get involved with this project, and like how long did you work on this?
Yeah, so I got involved with it through Faster Than Light, or Faster Than Light, through lesser known comics.
Okay.
um, and that cover is by Don Monet,
All
whose
right.
art I also love.
Yeah.
But so I was talking with Mark, who's the editor in chief of lesser known comics, which is kind of I think reorganizing right now
It
in the middle
is.
of a bit of a reorganization. But
It
he's
certainly
the
is. Yeah.
yeah. So I was talking to him about a series that I had written that's a sci-fi, and I'm going to be kind of pitching it around and maybe kickstarting it at some point in the future. The scripts are written, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be made at this point.
Okay.
um, but it's a sci-fi, and I was talking to Mark about how everything I've kind of written up till this point has mostly been fantasy, and I'd like to kind of find a way to bring people over from fantasy into sci-fi, people who've followed me. And he kind of suggested doing a sci-fi anthology and having a story in it that's like a short set in the world of that series. So that's how I got started with it. A lot of the creators in it are lesser known comics creators. Some of them are local Columbus creators. There are a couple of people who were new to me who I connected with just through the anthology. Um, but the theme is family and kind of different takes on family, like whether it's biological family or found family. Because the series itself is all about the main character's kind of relationships with her dad and her brother. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, and it was the first time I had ever edited an anthology. It was a lot of fun. I started working on it, I think, in like March of last year was when submissions opened for it, and we ran the Kickstarter in what was it, July, August of last year.
Okay. And then I assume then this is already out then.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Do you
and
happen
we're
to know? Sorry. Go ahead.
oh sorry, we're doing a second volume of it later this summer.
Perfect. Do you happen to know if this volume is still available for purchase?
It's Well, if on my Kickstarter, it's a reward in some of the reward tiers for the current Kickstarter for No Spell Lasts Forever. Um,
Perfect.
yeah, I'm trying to think of other ways to make it available, maybe through like an online shop or something else at this point. But for right now, anyone who wants it, it's on the Kickstarter.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Thank you for letting us know about that. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. It's a great segue because I would like to talk about your Kickstarter,
Awesome.
because that's what you have going on now. And I think that people should should be able to see that. So let me go ahead and cue that up. Editor, you know what to do here. It's a note for them. Um, go here, and there it is. And we'll add to the stage. Bam! Wow, look at that. So it's only been what? Didn't you set this for like 30 days? 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2 days you are overfunded.
Yeah.
That's
Exciting.
fantastic.
Oh,
That
thanks.
means that your followers believe in your work.
Oh, thank you.
I'm pretty excited, especially after talking to you about this now. Um, and so yeah, we've got 28 days left. Um, let's go through the campaign a little bit.
Awesome.
Um, we so at this point of the story, this is issue number 4.
Hmm.
Um, is there anything that you can tell us about where the characters are now without giving away too much?
Yeah, so the main character, Rosette, is she's a criminal and she kind of uses her magic to do criminal things. Um, and up until this point, she's been pretty good at that because she's also been able to use her magic to kind of cover her tracks and like no one's ever been able to catch her. Um, and the task that the devil back in issue 2 that Lucifer gives her to get her second chance at life is to corrupt a truly good soul. So she's identified someone and she's figured out a way to like work her way into his life and like spend a bunch of time with this person. And she's kind of hatched a plan to corrupt him. But now it's kind of like everything is starting to come to a head. And she's at this point where she needs to decide if she really wants to go through with it. Because after this point, like there are going to be real consequences if she does. So does she want to do it or not? And that's kind of where she is in this issue.
Oh my. Okay, folks, you heard that right. The main protagonist is not a good person.
That's kind of her arc. She starts off as a questionable person, and her arc is figuring out. And a lot of that kind of has to do with her backstory too. She kind of has been told from a young age that like her magic is dangerous and that she's like
Mm,
not to be trusted because of that, and so she's internalized a lot of kind of these negative ideas about herself. So her whole arc is like, is that really who she is, or can she be a better person?
wow. Okay. Yeah, that's intriguing. I would love to. What a dilemma to be stuck in.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry, before I go on, did you want to talk about any of the artists for these covers? Because this is the main cover here.
Yeah, that's the main cover. And the first variant is
Right here.
also easy. The standard
Okay,
cover and the first variant are by Easy to Savino. And I love that variant. It might be one of my favorite covers
it's
from
pretty
the
sick.
series.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty sick.
he does a
Especially,
thing. Oh,
I would
sorry.
say, especially after seeing like what inspired it, and
Yeah, with each
yeah.
issue, he's done a thing where he's done a variant that's been inspired either by the style of old noir movie posters or by a specific poster. And he chose Cabaret for this one, and I love what he did with it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Um, and this is adorable.
Yeah. This is by Mata Sorcier, and she has a couple series that are really cool, but she has one called Buddy and Friend, where that's done in this style. And I wanted to do one that's just a completely different style from the rest of the book. I thought it would be. I really liked her style in Buddy and Friend, so.
Okay. I like the detail that she put in here on
Yeah.
the character's eyes, because
Hmm.
all of them are pretty much side eyeing her.
Yeah.
um, and then, wow.
Yeah, this one's by Alan Forbes, and he did a digital poster for Faster Than Light. That was a reward during that campaign. And he
Hmm.
has this style that's like 3D, and it just looks really cool. He has a series called Red Cat that's all in that style. So again, like I wanted to try and do something different that would look completely different from the other covers, and his style. I just always really enjoyed.
Yeah, I really dig it too. She definitely looks more menacing here
Yeah, I think
on
so
this cover.
too.
Um, I think, are people still in time for the early bird
Yeah, that's
deals?
still going on.
Okay,
Some of
cool. We'll
them.
make
There's
sure.
some that are there. One of the rewards is the first number of backers, but
Gotcha.
the rest of them are going on.
Okay. Digital posters available. Very cool. Extra bonus. Oh, what's this? What's this beauty?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
is. These are the when we reach. Well, actually, we have reached 75 backers now. So
Yes, you
these
have.
are digital comics that they're from a couple of creators I connected with through Comics Launch, Tyler James's group. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, those I'm
Meta
excited about too.
salvage. Oh
The
yeah.
playground.
That's very cool looking. I like that. And pretty soon you'll be at this level, 100 backer
Yeah.
bonus, where people will get a sketch cover, if I'm reading
Yeah, this is
correctly.
a digital post. So this will be just a digital reward.
Okay.
Um, but it's a digital poster by Alex Gunther, who I've worked with on a bunch of stuff too. I always really love his art.
It's pretty. It's very. I like the colors here too.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right, stretch goals. Which, again, what are you at right now? You're at
The first stretch goal is at 1,800, and we're at a
first.
little over 1,400.
Okay, so
We're getting there.
yeah, possibly by the end of the weekend you'll be here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fantastic. I did want to get into some of the available rewards,
Hmm.
because you mentioned that earlier. So people can expect to get the digital for 5, a catch-up tier for 8, which is a great deal, mind you, and then the standard covered is only $10,
Yep.
which is a great price as well. And the variant that I'm sure a lot of people are going to go after, 13, 18 for the sorcerer variant, excuse me, and then the Forbes variant, that digital beauty, is 22, and all 4 covers for $40. Now, has this been pretty standard with all of the issues you released, multiple covers and
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually kind of changed the way I did my tiers with Faster Than Light. Because before that, with the previous issues of No Spell, I had the variants, but I'd have like uh, just the standard cover, and then the standard cover plus like one variant plus two variants. So they kind of built each tier. But with Faster Than Light, I was like, I'm just going to offer tiers that are just for each individual variant. And they go up a little bit in price each time, but not as much as they had when I was building each tier.
mm-hmm.
And then a tier for all 4. And it seemed to work, I think, better uh,
Yeah.
than the previous tiers. It wasn't an exact one-to-one comparison because they were different books, but those variant tiers seemed popular with Faster Than Light. So
Excellent. Yeah. Well, this is easily one of the better, a really good deal here, considering that you get all 4 for $40. So, so all 4 covers plus digital shorts and pen, 50, which is great. And then, oh, interesting, interesting. You're willing to, looks like, give of your time as well.
Yeah, I did that for Faster Than Light too, the virtual meetup, and it ended up being a lot of fun. A couple people who pledged at that tier, we did a meetup with several of the FTL creators who had stories in the book. And we chatted for about an hour about our own projects and their projects, and it ended up being a lot of fun.
And that's pretty much what people can expect should they back this tier. Just
Yeah.
a nice, okay, excellent. Oh, look, I think I know her. um, and let's just show the artists as well because they deserve some attention.
Yes.
There we go. Anything else you want to say about this campaign before we move?
I think that's probably about it. I'm doing pins for the first time, so I'm excited about that. But I think that's pretty much it.
Pins are always
enamel pins. I've done like little buttons in the past. This is my first time doing enamel pins, so I'm excited about that.
Enamel pins are the way to go. You chose wisely because what I've learned, and I don't know if you knew this, is that yes, people buy enamel pins to wear them and all that, but people collect them, and they are now have galleries on their walls of the pins they collect.
Oh, funny! That's cool.
Yeah. So it turns out it's a big thing. Okay, so that is professional Sarah.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that with us. It was lovely to dive into some of your past work, some of the stuff you're passionate about, and what you have coming up. Now, outside of the Kickstarter that's going to end soon, is there anything after that people should be aware of to look out for? I know you mentioned there's another volume of Faster Than Light, correct?
Yeah, that'll probably be launching in June. And that's the next thing. And then we're shooting for the next issue of No Spell, hopefully around like the end of the year. So those are the next couple of things.
Okay. Now is the point in the show where we need to get into the slack of it. And so, if you're not familiar with the series, it is called Cerius Blaq because it is important to me that while we get to know Sarah professionally, we also want to get to know the person behind this beautiful work that we just saw. And so, in a prior conversation, I asked Sarah what some of her hobbies were. And one of them she disclosed to me was that she likes to bake.
I do.
Let me tell y'all something right now, okay? She undersold it. Because I'm going to put some pictures up and give Sarah a chance to just talk about some of these other creations. And you'll see what I mean in a second. I'm going to start with this one. Look at that.
Yeah. Those are double chocolate cookies. I think I just found the recipe on like All Recipes or something like that. But yeah, they turned out pretty well. They almost taste like brownie cookies.
Do they have that like density too, or just
they do? They're not quite as dense as a brownie, but for a cookie they're pretty dense.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem for me. Like I'm getting hungry here about a second. Okay, let's go to this next one here, and you can tell us about this. Ooh.
Yeah, those are just homemade baked donuts, just powdered sugar donuts. I was intimidated about doing yeast donuts, but baked cake donuts seemed pretty doable, and they turned out well.
So they turned out pretty good. How often do you do those?
I haven't really done those too much. I need to go back to them more.
Okay. I would assist upon it. I like donuts. Oh my, that looks crumbly.
Yeah, this one, this is a lemon curd coffee cake that I really like. That turns out well, and it's like just nice and moist and crumbly. My husband loves peach stuff and suggested doing it with like peach and peach jam instead of lemon curd, which I keep intending to do but haven't tried yet. But that's my next adventure with this recipe, I guess.
I do think he's onto something. That does sound good.
It does sound good.
have you ever served like this at like a party or to guests or anything?
I haven't. It's one that I like to make, but I haven't really served it at a party or anything yet. Although I've thought about taking it. We have potlucks at the library where I work pretty often. I've thought about taking it to one of those.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it would serve really well for like a little coffee hour or a tea
Yeah,
time or something. That'd
little
be
tea
really cool.
time.
And then this frosted delight here.
Oh yeah, those are eggnog cookies. Um, it's just a frosting with eggnog and powdered sugar,
Oh,
and they're like a
okay,
lighter, kind of softer cookie.
okay. What's the flavor of the cookie base then?
It's like Christmassy kind, like cinnamon and nutmeg and
Okay.
Christmassy types of spices.
Can I assume then that you just wait for the holidays to break these out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, word up. Okay, so this one here, right, actually reminds me of something my grandmother used to make. So I'm really interested to learn about this.
Yeah, this one is one that my grandma used to make.
Oh,
It's just an apple bundt cake. Um,
mm,
and it's my grandma had these recipes just written by hand on note cards that she kind of passed down to my aunt, and my aunt gave a bunch of them to me, and one of them was this apple cake.
okay, yeah, okay. So the one that my grandmother made was a apple pear
Ooh, that sounds good too.
cake. Yeah, so I just wow, yeah. This is something that I probably that I wouldn't be able to have around me a lot because, like, not that
Yeah.
I don't know how to share,
Hmm.
but I do know how to be greedy.
Yeah,
So,
same.
okay, and I got one more that you shared with us, and I'm going to pull this up now, and you can tell us about these. And this looks like a lot of them.
Yeah. Oh, those ones in the front are a little browner than I'd like them to be, but these are Lebanese cookies that my grandma and my great aunt made. And that picture was before they were completely done, because you also take like milk and sugar, and you take a pastry brush and brush them with that, so they have this extra nice
Mm.
sweet layer on the outside.
Is, it,
Um,
is it like a glaze then, or something?
yeah,
Like,
it's kind of
okay,
like a glaze.
okay.
And they have yeast in them, which I always think is so interesting for a cookie.
That,
But they do
yeah.
have yeast, and there's the flavor is a Lebanese spice called mutlub, which I never say right, but it's it's approximately right. Um, and these taste like Christmas to me.
Okay, fantastic. Are these special occasion for you, or you just put them out all the time?
They always were growing up. They were like at the holidays. My family would make them, but I've been trying to get better at making them myself. So I've been making them just kind of whenever to try to practice.
Okay, awesome. Now, I think that thank you for sharing those with us, by the
Oh
way.
yeah.
Um, outside of baking, is there what else do you like to do in your downtime to like just really relax and take a break from the library and the like
Yeah.
creativeness? Like
Mhm.
what keeps you sane?
Probably a couple of the things that I do most regularly are just reading. Like I love getting lost in a novel or a comic, which makes sense working in the library. And jogging. I go jogging pretty much every morning.
Okay. Even when it's cold outside?
I do. I bundle up. It's ridiculous. I wear like the
Girl.
fleece lined running pants and
Oh my God. Okay, you one of them. You serious. All right. All right. Um, nice. Yeah, reading is definitely something that I'm always I was actually reading right before this. It
Mhm.
wasn't good, but I was reading
Yeah.
it. So I'll probably switch to something else later. Um,
Mhm.
I another focus of the show is to talk about the hobbies and like I said, what keeps you sane. But I do want to focus on mental health practices because I think
Mhm.
that in the world we live in today, that's very important because there's a lot of things
Yeah,
for a
for
lot of
sure.
people. Are there
Mhm.
any other things that you use, like meditation or anything like that, to just stay focused or get yourself balanced, or anything that you would recommend for people?
I have had periods where I've done meditation, and it has helped me. It was hard for me to kind of stay with the practice over time, but I still dip back into it now and then. And just therapy has has been
Therapy.
helpful. Hmm.
Therapy. I push it a lot. I try to tell people
Yeah,
like it's a thing you should do
agreed.
all the time. Not all the time, but like don't shy away from it. I'm a
Yeah,
big advocate for therapy myself. So
yeah, for
thank you for
sure.
mentioning that.
Mhm.
Um, Along with navigating the world and trying to keep our sanity, keep our mental health. Um, the world itself can be an issue for us, but also when you're a person that cares about things, even you have to put some energy into that. What are
Yeah.
some of the things that you like to put your energy into, or causes that you like try to stay focused on?
Yeah. It feels like there's so many that I want to be a part of because it feels like there's so much, just so much going on that needs attention.
I hear that.
Um, I've done some work in the past with We Need Diverse Books, a nonprofit. Um, and mostly what I was doing with them was volunteering to do kind of social media and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, but again, and this is one of the things that the library focuses on, just getting books out there by all different voices. And I think
Agreed.
is yeah. Um, I applied recently to start volunteering with an organization called the Ohio Women's Alliance, which
Mm,
helps people who are in need of abortions and kind of provides transportation and resources. Um, I'm still waiting to hear back, but I did send in my application form recently and hoping to start doing some work with them.
that's fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, and if there's anything that I can do or the show can do to help support that, please let us know.
Oh, thank you. That's
Yeah, of
awesome.
course. Hey, that's why I have this thing.
Yeah.
That's the real goal, to be honest. I do have a couple more things that I want to run through. Uh, I think it's time for our bonus round.
Awesome.
Uh, and for those that don't know, let me explain. For all of my guests, I have a spin wheel, a raffle wheel, consisting of 30 questions, and we're going to spin the wheel 5 times. And I have questions assigned to whatever number lands on them, and that is the question that I will present to Sarah.
Nice.
So I am going to go ahead and pull that up to make it fair, so everybody can see it. um, I don't want them to think I'm cheating. So 1 sec here. Let's get that going. Editor, make the space in between this, please. Okay. All right. And let's pull this up. Bam, we've got the wheel. We're going to give it a spin, and then are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. I promise none of the questions are like terrible or anything. So let's see what we got here. First spin. Question number 18. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, man. Okay. This is a good one. Question number 18 is less of a question and more of what is if you can think of one, a movie hot take, like your opinion on just a movie. It can be
Mm,
something you recently saw, something your favorite, whatever.
hmm. A hot take.
Yeah.
um, I just watched The Substance.
Oh boy.
And I
Okay.
guess my take on that, it's in my mind because I just recently watched it.
Perfect.
But I've heard people saying, and like I listened to a podcast and they were talking about it, where the ending they think kind of goes a little bit too far, like takes it over the
Hmm.
top a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But I actually, it does, but I kind of think that's perfect.
Okay.
I think it kind of needs to, like, given what the premise is, it kind of needs to go to the ultimate extreme of where that premise leads.
Yeah. I mean, they had a point. They were trying to make a point, and they made that point.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yes, I saw it too, and I threw it
The
on
ending
as
is
a
bananas.
It is. It is. I didn't see that. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but damn. Okay. All right. You have passed the first one. You made it. Yay. All right. Let's go for spin number 2. Oh, wow. Okay. So pretty close. Number 16. Okay. All right. This is pretty funny, pretty weird, but just bear with me here. All right. So the question number 16 is, do you wash your legs in the shower?
I do. I do.
Okay. So the reason this came up is because I did see that on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, there was a big debate last year about whether people wash their legs in the shower or not. And it started a whole thing. And I was like, well, I might as well find out who does and who doesn't and why don't they? Or, but believe it or not, it also revealed a lot of other things about people, because not only did they say, some people say, no, I don't. They went on to say what else they don't wash.
Oh.
So, right. All right. 2 down, 3 to go. Hey, we got earlier than number 8. Okay. This is an interesting one, and actually correlates to some stuff we were talking about. Are you familiar with ASMR?
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever checked out any ASMR, or would you? And if so, what do you think would be your niche or thing that you would find relaxing?
I haven't sought it out. I've come across it when other people have shared things or whatever. I do like white noise. I sleep with a fan. I think probably my ASMR would be some kind of white noise thing. Either that or something that sounds like rain. And white noise apps, they always have the rain kind of thing. And that's always relaxing to me.
Nice. I found one recently where somebody was just painting rocks. I forgot. It was a specific type of style. I can't remember it, but it was very beautiful and it was very calming. One of the things that I like to, one of the things I've been getting into is there's some ASMR videos where there's a couple of Asian women who go around their villages fixing mechanical things.
Oh, cool.
Like there's one young lady I follow, and she just picks up old engines and rebuilds them. For her farmer neighbors, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've seen.
That is cool. I like that.
All right, 2 more. All the rules are close today. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, now I don't want to guess this one. Okay. The question is, have you ever struck another person and did they deserve it?
Have I ever, what was it? Sorry?
Struck another person, hit someone. Have you ever hit someone and did they deserve it?
I don't think I've ever really hit anyone.
Okay. All right. All right.
I don't think so.
I think so. But you thought about it.
I probably pushed people.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Lucky you. This is the last one. Okay. Let's see. All right. You went back up. Number 28. What we got here? Whoa. Okay. Interesting. You get the ability to fly or to teleport.
Oh.
Where are you going and why?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Oh, okay. How about this? Let's start with this. Would you rather be able to fly or teleport?
I think flying would be more fun, but teleporting would be more practical. If I could fly at Superman speed, then fly.
Yeah. I think about that. I think about that too because, well, when I typed out the question, I was like, "Yeah, flying sounds great. Superman speed sounds great too." But like, it's cold up there, right?
That's true.
It's cold. Like, do I fly in a coat? Like, do I get Superman like skin, or do I
Yeah.
need like an overall set and some goggles?
Yeah. If I get all of that, then fly. If not, then transport, teleport.
Okay, okay. Any particular place that you would love to vacation to then? Because then now you
Mm,
can just get there.
yeah. I feel like there are a lot of places. Um, where would I go first? It's so hard.
Mm,
Uh, I was just thinking yesterday how I'd really like to see the Edinburgh Fringe Fest. So maybe I do that.
mm, perfect. I guess it would be all about the timing, really, right? About when you get these said
Yeah.
powers, and like
Hmm.
what's on the docket or whatever,
What's going on?
right? Like, oh, I got the ability to teleport. You know what? We're out of milk,
Just teleport to the store.
and that's it. Yeah. Um. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, that ends the bonus round. I hope that wasn't too painful for you.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, sweet. Is there anything that you would like the audience to know before we conclude?
Um, I guess the main thing is probably just that the Kickstarter is still going on. So yeah, they've still got time for that.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Um, okay, and then I am going to thank the audience for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for just tuning in and checking out what Sarah has to
Yeah,
offer.
it's been
And I want you to make sure that after you check out the interview, come back to the channel later where you can watch a video of Sarah and I looking at some music together. Um, so make sure you come back and stay tuned for that. Okay.
yes.
Uh, so in the meantime, I bid you adieu and give you some peace. Sarah, would you like to say a peace or a goodbye?
Yeah, thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun being on the show.
All right. Take care, everybody.